it takes 0.2 steel for 1 unit of lumber, 0.4 steel for 1 unit of oil, and 0.3 steel for 1 unit of steel. Okay, here's my technology matrix. My apologies about kind of bungling that, but it'll work out. Okay. So now I'm going to erase this information because it's now collected in this technology matrix here. And so now I'm trying to find, the question is, what is D? That's our question. And so I know from my equation for solving for D that D is equal to this x minus ax. Or if you like, I could factor it, and it's I minus a times x. Yeah, so it's one of those. These are the same thing. It doesn't matter how we compute it. I think I'm going to do it this way, just because it's helpful to get in the habit of doing this I minus a, because when I solve for x, I need to find I minus a inverse. So let's just practice doing this I minus a. We'll do it this way. So let's find I minus a. So that's this identity matrix minus a, which is, this is a here. So I just take this matrix and subtract this matrix. So what's 1 minus 0.2? That's 0.8. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0.6 is negative 0.6. 0 minus 0.6 is negative 0.6. 1 minus 0.1 is 0.9. 0 minus 0 is 0. 0 minus 0.2 is negative 0.2. 0 minus 0.4 is negative 0.4. And 1 minus 3 is 0.7. Okay. So this is my matrix I minus a. I just take this identity matrix and subtract my technology matrix. Okay. So now the last thing I need to do to find D is just take this matrix and multiply it with x. We're given x, so I just need to multiply these two, and that'll tell me what D is according to this formula. So we just need to take I minus, so D equals I minus a times x, which is this matrix that I just found. And then I need to multiply it by x, which we just had was 30, 20, 40. All right, that's our given x that we were given in the problem. So what I would need to do is multiply this out and find out what the answer is. And so I don't know if I want to do this right now on the board. Let's see. Well, what's 0.8 times 30? That's 24. That's 24. 0 times 20 is 0. Negative 0.6 times 40 is negative 24. So it looks like I have 24 minus 24. It looks like that's 0. Okay. And so that's going to be weird. I think that's because I messed up writing down the problem, but that's okay. We're going to roll with it and see what happens. Negative 0.6 times 30 is negative 18. 0.9 times 20 is positive 18. And 40 times 0 is 0. So it looks like I have 0. So this is kind of a dumb problem, but that's fine. We're going to have a demand of 0, which is kind of silly. Negative 0.2 times 30 is negative 6. Negative 0.4 times 20 is negative 8. So negative 6 and negative 8 makes negative 14. And what's 0.7 times 40? I think that's 28. So what's 28 minus 14? That's 14. Okay, so here's our demand. Our demand that we can meet is 0 lumber, 0 oil, and 14 units of steel. Okay, so that's okay. Again, we'll ignore the fact that this is kind of, it's kind of dumb to have demands of 0, but this is what our answer would be. So again, the process was write down the technology matrix, recall the formula that we need, and then just find the pieces. So first find I minus a, and then multiply it with x to get the final answer, find D. That was what we did. If I instead was asked to find x and I was given D, I would use my other formula that said that x was the I minus a inverse times D. in which case then I would have had to find the inverse of this matrix and then multiply it with D. And the only way to find the inverse of this is to row reduce with the augmented matrix. I'm not going to do that right now on the board. You guys will get to practice that on the activities throughout the week. So I'll leave it at that, I think. Okay. Any questions? Sorry, I stumbled. Just a few minutes left.
So it'll always say like explicitly like find D or find X.
Yeah, so it should always be clear in the problem which one, what you're being asked to do. Like it'll either say find a production schedule or find X. So the production schedule is X, so it'll say find that, or it'll say find D, which is demand. So it might say find demand.
Okay.
It should be clear about what you're asked to do. And you might get problems that just say like write down the technology matrix as well. So
Okay.
it should hopefully always be clear what you're supposed to do in a given problem. Any other questions? Okay, well, there's only a few minutes left, so I think we'll probably just call it a day for today. So tomorrow, maybe I'll talk a little bit just to recall some of this tomorrow, and then we'll have some time to work on the activities, I think, tomorrow. And so, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So check out activity 6.3a. We'll have time to work on that in class tomorrow. And when you're at it, check the WebWorks too. So again, I'll extend WebWorks 6.2a and b. I'll make an announcement here in a minute on Canvas to remind you guys, and I'll make sure they're open. But otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to stick around. I'll answer questions. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow.